morning, everyone. This is day 2 of my self-imposed quarantine. Mayor Mike Kloesel coming at you in quarantine. Listen, I woke up this morning feeling fine. Didn't have any issues so far. Well, in full disclosure, I must say that I did sneeze, and I counted exactly 4 times this morning right after I got up. It's not unusual for me to do that, however, so it wasn't no big deal. A lot of times just going out in the sun will make me sneeze. Don't have to be outside, inside a car, and the sunlight catches me just right, I sneeze my head off. So sneezing in the morning is not a rare thing for me at all. I feel fine. I feel absolutely no congestion as of now. My head is as clear as it can be. So I think the worst part of being in quarantine is the anxiety of it all. You know, that afternoon that I took my first test, that 15 minutes waiting for the result of that, my heart rate must have been up. I know my blood pressure had to be up. That can't be healthy either, just not being able to get control of your anxiety. And I do have that issue. And I wonder if I were to get COVID, would my anxiety play a part of me even getting worse than I would have had I been able to keep my nerves and fears under control. So I wonder if that plays any part in it at all, the mental aspect of it. Does that play any part of it at all? I don't know. But hopefully I won't find out either. You know, the good thing about everything that I'm going through right now is that there's no doubt in my mind that I am in the best of care. Immediately my wife started filling up my little pill box Sunday through Saturday, full of vitamins and everything that she knows that is going to help me stay strong if I were to catch the virus. There is no one person outside of the medical field that I feel like has studied this virus more than my wife has. She reads, she watches, she researches almost everything to do with this virus. So I feel like she knows more about it than any layperson that I would know, and certainly I would trust her with her recommendations on anything to do with this virus. So with that, I'm in excellent hands. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Pam and I have talked often about the virus, and we do probably because I'm in the public eye and I'm around so many people on a daily basis. So we've talked about it a lot. We discuss it often. And she is so knowledgeable about it and has given me information about it that I honestly feel like I can argue either side of the vaccine, non-vaccine issue. I have heard it all. I've studied it all. I've listened to her. We've discussed her research. Excuse me for just a second. I have to take this phone call. I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Getting back to the vaccine, non-vaccine. You can probably argue that point either way. However, I have had, in full disclosure, I've had my vaccine, and I do believe that vaccines help. Let's talk about some of the things that people are fearful about the vaccine. I think the first thing that say about the vaccine, that I hear anyway, is that it came about too fast. Well, that's not entirely true. These vaccines, Pfizer and Moderna in particular, have been around over 20 years. They were vaccines that were being researched that didn't really have an attachment to them. They were actually pulled off the shelf to fight this particular virus because of the fact that the ingredients in the vaccines would work in warding off this virus. So it's not like the virus came and we started looking for a vaccine and this is what we come up with in a few short months. It wasn't like that at all. The vaccine has been here 20 plus years or so, and it just so happens that the vaccine works with this particular virus. The virus didn't come and then the vaccine. Didn't happen that way. So now the argument I'm hearing lately is that it is the vaccinated people spreading the virus to the unvaccinated people. Is it possible for vaccinated people to spread the virus? Certainly it is. Is it likely? Probably not to the degree that's being put out there. Let's say it was, though. Let's just say that right now COVID is being spread by the people that have been vaccinated. If that's true, wouldn't it just make good sense then for everyone to be vaccinated and then the virus would have nowhere to go? So I don't believe that that's the case at all. You also hear, well, people that have been vaccinated are still getting COVID. And that too is true. However, in our region, and it is nationwide, pretty much the same numbers, 9 out of every 10 people that are in the hospital with COVID are unvaccinated. That's just a fact. It's a statistic. Then they say, well, 15% of those people in the hospital that die from COVID have been vaccinated. And that is true too. However, what you have to remember is those 15%, most of them had serious, very serious underlying conditions, such as a transplant of some kind. They've had serious cancer, they've gone through chemo, radiation, and sometimes they're just very, very old anyway, and the vaccine just didn't take. So with that said, the vaccine is doing its job. It's doing what it's supposed to do, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to argue that point or not. It is doing what it's supposed to do. And another big argument that I've heard was, well, we don't know what the vaccine is going to do to us down the road. No, it's true, we don't. But we do know what coronavirus can do to us down the road. It's not a virus necessarily that you are going to have for a week or 10 days and then you never have it again, or don't have it again for a long time like the flu. It's not like that. It can work on your weakest points, whether it be your heart, your lungs, your liver, your brain. It can work on your weakest points until for months and years. There are cases out there, and they're not hard to find, that do that. So we don't know what the vaccine is going to do to us long term. One thing we do know about vaccines, though, is that for every vaccine that we put in our body, we know, excuse my dog, somebody trespassed on her territory. Anyway, what we do know about the vaccine, every vaccine, is that if there are any ill effects from that vaccine, they're going to take place normally within 8 weeks of taking that vaccine. So, with that said, we've had over 300,000 doses of the vaccine in people, dating back to late December of last year. And there has there been some effect? You're never going to have a vaccine that's not going to touch a very small part of the population in a negative manner. It's not going to happen. But is the risk worth taking a vaccine? For me, it was. So now I'm going to get off my high horse and tell you again, I'm feeling fine. This is the morning. I'm going to take another test, but I'm going to wait until this afternoon to take it, and I'll have that on the afternoon portion of this update. So anyway, stay healthy. You know, honestly, wear your masks. It's not going to hurt. It's not infringing on your rights. You know, really, it's not. It's not that big a deal. At least if it saves someone's life you love or someone's life I love, to me, it's worth it. You know, there's no way the American people are going to let the government control them in a negative way long term. They may get by with it short term, but it's not going to happen long term. So let's do what we can to stay healthy. Okay? Protect each other, be safe, and be vigilant. And if anybody has any questions for me, you can always contact me at mayor@cityofcaplan.com. And until later, that's all I have. Bye-bye.